and I almost missed it. I got a tweet from the YouTube creators people today, or actually yesterday, and let's get into this. Okay, so you know how you'll get a copyright strike or a copyright claim or whatever, right? Well, the same system that does that, the content ID, can also be used to gate videos by country. And from and what they're telling me is that if you wanted to make sure 110 million% that your videos will not be subjected to the COPPA law, you can put in to the content ID system. You have to go through, qualifying for it. Okay, you have to go through the content verification program. You'll have to, all this stuff. But what this would do would be to basically, it would not show the videos inside the United States. Okay, now that might be a big chunk of your traffic. It might not be. You got to remember. Okay, let's say there's 4.5 billion people on the internet. How many users are there at YouTube, right? Right? And how many people watch the content? And that's the thing. What is your American-based content? Like, what I can show you. Let me see here. Channel analytics, audience. I can go down, scroll down here to my audience, and I can see the top countries. So 36% of my traffic is in the United States. So, now mind you, my videos are actually have been scanned, and they say that it's adult content, and I'm pretty secure in that knowledge, that I'm okay, right? I mean, I do a lot of game development stuff, which isn't really directed at kids. It's directed at people who are making things, okay? Which usually is a little bit more advanced than, like, that's not to say that, like when I was 12, I was mucking around with a Commodore VIC-20. Doesn't mean that there aren't smart kids at, 10, 11, and 12, and sometimes even younger. I've seen some kids with tablets at 7 or 8 years old that are doing what I did at 12 in the 80s. So, but this age gate thing, one option. So, who can use the content? YouTube only grants content ID to copyright owners who's, and see, here's the thing with this. Managing video availability in countries can be done through our content ID system. Okay, so I'm not sure how this works completely, and I'll have to look up on it, guys. I mean, it's springing this a little bit late to the party, you know what I mean? Like, technically, I have, like, what? It's December 9th when they stopped taking people's submissions about the law, and then, by the end of the year, whatever. YouTube also sets explicit guidelines on how to use content ID. So this is where I see the problem here is this content ID thing makes things extremely bureaucratic compared to what we're used to. I mean, it would be content owners who freely make erroneous claims have their content ID access disabled and their partnership with YouTube terminated. And like, does this cost money? Because, like, okay, qualifying. Let me see what qualifying says here. Let's see here. Okay, let's read this. I'll read it here. Content use eligibility is based on a variety of criteria. This includes whether or not the copyright owner's content can be claimed through content ID and demonstrated need. Well, the demonstrated need is that, I want to make sure that I'm not in the United States. Your law doesn't apply to us in Canada, and I don't want to run afoul of your laws, and I don't want to be creating unnecessary blah, right? Right? Okay, so continuing. Copyright owners must be able to provide evidence of copyrighted content for which they could see now when they say exclusive rights, this is where game companies would like to say that me playing a video game, do I have I don't quite have exclusive rights. I have implied rights, right? That's where they basically are saying you can do this, you know, blah 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 blah. I don't have any exclusivity. I don't think. I'm not sure how that works. It's getting this whole process is getting far too legal for my brain, and I got a big brain for it. I mean, but they're saying that this is possible if you're not in the United States. Content ID will match a user's reference content against every upload to YouTube. Content owners must have exclusive rights to them. So really, when I do a video, it's mine, right? Okay, that we'll just say for sake, right? As long as I'm not putting any music into it at all, right? Then fine. Or the music has a CC by 0 or attribution with the attribution in the post somewhere. Okay. Common examples are mashups, best ofs, compilations, remixes of other works, video gameplay. Okay, so I can do this. Video gameplay, right. Unlicensed music and video, alright, yeah. If accepted to use Content ID, copyright owners will be required to complete an agreement explicitly stating that only content with exclusive rights can be used as references. Additionally, they will need to provide geographic locations, Canada, of exclusive ownership, if not worldwide. So basically what I could say is, come January 1st, nothing to the United States, right? Like that kind of deal, right? And then you would be 100% covered. You can do that, guys, okay? So everyone that's panicking about Coppa, don't worry. If you're outside the United States, here's the solution right here. This is it, okay? Now the content, and we'll continue on here to the next part. In addition to content, we offer copyright management tools that might better suit a copyright. And this is them saying that if you're outside in another country, you can effectively block off your... That's why when you're looking at some videos, it'll say, this is not available in your country. This is the same system, okay? And by using that, and I'm surprised no lawyers have found this issue. You see? Here we are, people. A little guy like me, asking the right questions, was able to get everybody on earth here a solution to Coppa, okay, that's outside the United States, okay? Now, what would be interesting is, and I'm pretty sure that the U.S. law states that even if they were to upload to a server outside the United States, as long as they're an American citizen, inside the United States doing it, that they're still there. Because Canada has a law where I live in Ontario, as also has an extra law. I'll tell you about the two of them. That no matter what I do on the internet, okay, Canadian federal law applies, okay, and there's some domain name issues where it's property versus not property. Okay, which is why if I had a domain name and someone tried to seize it for whatever reasons, you'd have to actually take me to a court to take the domain name versus just seizing it, okay, without due process. And the key word there is due process. Anyway, back to this. In addition, these copyright tools include complaint web form, content verification program, and the copyright match tool. More information can be found on here. Okay, we're going to get right into this, boys and girls. Okay, we'll go over here for a minute. Copyright management tools. If you have occasional takedown needs. Okay, what's this say? Jeez. If individual or regular submit takedown requests or believe the copyright to get started, these things. Such as how often you upload videos, Copyright match tool, content verification program, content ID. Let's see here. For those who have exclusive rights, that's me. Yeah, that works. Block a whole video from being viewed. Bang. Monetize the video by running ads against it. In some cases, sharing revenue with the uploader. Okay. Track the videos. So then, once you've done this, then you can actually tell people, well, you want to run pieces of my videos or something, I can share revenue with you. You can just take a piece and then, okay, that's trippy. You're becoming the other side, but not. Oh man, this is just, I don't know how anybody who's under the age of 40 would even have the time or effort. Anyone, oh my. Yeah, see the high level understanding copyright owners. Okay, so let's go back here. Okay, what options? Block a whole video, monetize it, track the videos. Okay, content. What's here? Some explicit guidelines on how to use related topics. What's this? Who claim my video disputed claim? How did okay, so qualifying. So we're back in here. Unlicensed video. Accepted to use it. Content verification program. So basically, this is exactly how you see those music videos or some video that some American would give you that you would want to watch in Canada, and then it says, sorry, this is blocked in your country because the rights holder in Canada is not giving permission, or that rights holder in the United States is not giving permission outside the United States for that video to be viewed. The reverse can also happen, okay, where we can just all gate off our content to the United States, and then, that's fine. Doesn't bother me. I got the rest of the internet, okay? I mean, we used to host our website in Florida back in the 90s, right up until around 98, and then I moved it into Canada and basically kept it here for the next, 10 years or so anyway, till I decided to shut it down for everyone's safety. And, that's just sort of one of those things, right? What you do, right? You got to look at protecting yourselves, right? And this is exactly how you do it. So I'm going to leave a link in the video in the description for this, so that everybody can go and have a look at this. And this, along with restricted mode, okay, would make sure. You see, until they perhaps the rest of the world should go get the content ID system set up and block the United States from all our content until YouTube decides to open that restricted mode up, make it a regular mode. And here's the ideas I've come up with. Make it regular mode. You've got the age gating on the sign up and login for parental consent for anyone under 18. It's really heavy for under 12 and under, okay? And here's a kicker that I thought about that would probably appease the COPA and FTC people, that people under the age of 18 or under 12 and under would not be able to upload videos. I think that would probably solve a lot of problems too, okay? And it's just like, you got to be 16 to drive, you got to be, 21 to drink in the US, and it's 19 in Canada. You got to get to a certain age before you're allowed to do things, right? Well, this is probably where we're heading with this. And I think the quicker we get there and to get over the pain of it all, and everybody's going to lose a little traffic. You'll probably lose a little money for a while until everyone adjusts. It's all that jazz, blah, blah, blah. And this is just, just to give you an idea how much pain I'm going through. You see some of the Unreal Engine developments I do. So I've been getting a lot of the free stuff. I go in and I was looking at doing some interesting stuff. I went across the street like I do every month, and I usually get one of these Visa cards where I can put money on it, and then I go pay my internet bill. So I put extra on it this time, and I went over to Unreal's website, and I wanted to buy. It was something like, what was it? $23 worth, $24 worth of stuff. Wouldn't let me do it. Wouldn't let me do it, and it gave me really stupid reasons too. Tried to say that the three numbers on the back of the card was wrong. I mean, the card's right in front of my face. It was like, what? So I thought maybe there's something wrong with the card. So I went and paid my internet bill. No problem. Okay. All right. So, and then I thought, well, okay, screw Unreal Engine then. And then I'm over at, there was this one guy who's done a really interesting thing with Blender where he takes different parts and makes them up in the meshes. And then he has a script that's run. And you can trip this script and it will randomly make different mechs. You know, the big robots? So you would be able to custom make different variations. And he only wanted to charge $5. This is over at Gumroad. So I tried it, failed. Tried it again, failed. So okay, that doesn't work. So then I go to the online place on Visa, or this cards place, and I see that Gumroad took $1 for every time that failed and still didn't give me the thing. So they're okay with taking money from the card and not giving me, you know, the download for this. Right? And this guy had a free version. I mean, I could get the free version and just get one mech. Right? And no documentation to be able to mess with the code to make something neat with it. Right? And so I went to the guy's YouTube channel and I just said, well, this sounds like a good choice scam. Are you friends with these Gumroad people that set this up? Blah, blah, blah. About half an hour later, they refunded that money. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, you know, I go over to Steam to see some sales. Steam failed. So I'm thinking, Visa, these are all American companies. So I'm thinking, well, maybe I can't use a Visa card in the United States all of a sudden, right? The second time, I was able to buy Elite Dangerous, and then the next day I got up this morning and thought, hey, you know what? That Total War game is pretty cheap. It's too bad, you know, that I didn't put a couple more bucks on it, because I would have got the Total War #1 on it and then be able to do the Mortal Emperors thing. But anyway, yeah, so that's just to tell you some of the things and hoops I got to go through. And the reason I use these pay-as-you-go cards, okay, is safety. Once the card's at zero, even if there was $5 on it, and say they broke into Steam and took all the credit cards out of there, right? What do you get? You get $5 from me, or nothing, and I'm still secure. Okay? You see what I'm saying? You might get. I mean, I don't even have to use my real name with the thing, and that's probably part of the reason why there's a bit of issue with the cards. But who cares? It's a gift card. The money's been paid on it. If I have the proper information for it, it should work. But anyway, So I don't know. I'm not into wasting my time on all this stuff. And I sent Unreal people a message saying, listen, you say that you don't allow PayPal to do these kind of pay-as-you-go cards, but you didn't say anything about Visa and MasterCard. So I'm taking it that they don't allow these types of cards. Well, I'm sorry, but I will not lessen my security and safety just because you have some other idiots that may cause you some grief or fraud or something, maybe. Like, that's probably the thing. It might be some issue like that. And the only way you could do a fraud thing like this is if you actually worked in the grocery store over there, got all these cards in here, found a way to open those packages, get all the information off those cards, right? And then be at the till and know how much the guy put on it, take a break right after, go over and spend the money on that card right away or within a short period of time. That's the only way that you can pull a scam on me using my card. I mean, yeah, that's going to happen. But anyhow. So, long story short, I mean, even if you had hacked this PC and were trying to get the information for that. By the time you've gone and done all that, I've already spent the money on the card. Have a nice day. It's safety first, right? So this is the way that everybody outside the United States can 100% protect themselves from COPA and COPRA that will be coming in a year or so. Okay? If the United States wants to gate itself off from the rest of the world by overprotecting children and making rules that don't make sense, like this restricted mode, or like some people say, a mixed age thing where you're making content for everyone versus just for kids. I don't know. That's the U.S. problem, not mine. Okay, I'm looking after me, my friends, and I feel sorry for you Americans. But if suddenly in January a crap ton of us just disappear on you, oh well. Have a nice day. You weren't much of you were 36% of my traffic, which is interesting. Okay, that's actually up since all this COPA stuff has come up. It used to be 16%. I was getting 84% of my traffic was from non-U.S. stuff, and I guess I'm gonna have to stay up later and engage more Canadians and more people from Australia and Britain and Europe and India and Asia, stuff like that. Okay, and that's got to have some Americans that we're all loving these things and doing all these things, going woo to the rest of everyone. That's got to have you going, uh oh. When the FTC starts getting a hold that this content verification program is going to be used to basically block off, 85% of the internet to you, oh well. I'll be looking into this. I don't personally think I'll be doing it myself until maybe I do a trailer or something like that. I might put the trailer into this, and then when some user goes and puts up the trailer somewhere else, I'll be informed of it. I won't claim on them or nothing like that. I would just say, just make sure you put a link to me in there. I won't even put a, I'll just go over to this thing and say that rather than get all crazy, stupid, copyrighty about it. And I guarantee you guys, if you take a road like that, you get a far more respect, and you probably get a sale somewhere out of it. Okay, that was like when the one guy who I showed off his this little first person story thing, right? He actually got notified because that's a thing he's selling in the Unreal Engine store, and the video I made is similar enough that it picked it up on the ID system. He came over and made some comments. Hey, you like that, eh? I go, yeah, that was really nice of you. Thank you for doing that, And this is a really cool set of tools. And that's what I mean. I still have enough to freebies to do things. It's just I wanted to do something real funky that I had an idea with that I could do with two tools, right? You don't know how long it would take to develop something like that on my own, considering my knowledge of the engine is still basically, minuscule. There's so much to know. That's why they have the credits, 30 or 40 people, because this guy knows that part of the end, and he can ask that guy, and that guy can do that much for him, and then he can just take that and put it into yeah, and it's all done quick. Stuff is not quite that easy, and this is part of the reason why you want to have a developer area like this, because then it makes it easy for me to get my idea out there, right? Oh well. Anyway, I'm gonna put this up and I'm going to call it the content. Let's see here. Where is it here? We'll call the here. I'll call it content ID Coppa solution. Okay. All right. Take care, everybody, and just remember this: if your video is not going into the United States jurisdiction, okay, it cannot be held liable under the Coppa laws. Solution.